Yo everybody, so today I want to give you my top 5 cornerback list. Now this list is probably going to annoy some people. There's going to be some people that aren't going to agree, and it's probably a lot different than you've seen before. It's a list that I think is the best guys for the Eagles, the best fit on not just for next year but for down the road. And it's guys that I think have different intangibles, different positives that the Eagles lack. For instance, I believe the Eagles need to get back to having athletic corners, guys with some speed and playmaking ability. Not always just big physical corners that they've gone with since really Osmo, and then Carey, and then Maxwell. And then McKelvin was just, I think he was just beat up in a shell of his former self, to be honest with you. But I think we need to get back to athletic corners, guys that can be difference makers, real difference makers. So my list may be a little different than others, probably out there think, but this is my opinion. This is what I think. And honestly, they're all so close, even the guys that aren't going to be on this list, that it's really hard to separate them. That's why I don't think you go corner at 14 unless it's Lattimore. But anyways, let's start. So at number 5, I have Fabian Moreau. I believe Fabian Moreau is a good physical corner who has some speed, good recovery, can play man-up football, and I think that he's a second-round pick who probably in a few years could be a really, really good corner. I think he's very underrated, and he is my number 5. At number 4, I have my favorite, personally, Adoree Jackson. Adoree Jackson's a world-class athlete. He's got speed, he can jump, he can move around. He's 5'11", about 189 pounds, so he's a little bit on the small side, I guess. But I believe he probably went through his entire college, years playing football, getting by on his athletic ability. If he becomes a guy who wants to learn how to be a student of the game, how to be a real corner, works on his mechanics, work on his footwork, does all the things the coach is, and is coachable with his athletic ability, that combined, I think he can be an elite corner in this league. I mean elite. A special talent. He's also a kick returner. He's also a punt returner. And I think at the worst case scenario, Adoree Jackson is a decent corner and a Pro Bowl special teamer who gives you a couple touchdowns a year. I think that's at his worst case. At his best case, I think he's one of the best corners that comes out of this draft. I think he's an elite Pro Bowl corner. I think he can be that good. And he's probably going to go late first, early second. But he maybe go late second. I don't know. But he is, to me, another big-time guy I would take that I could get later. At number 3, I would say Gareon Conley. Gareon Conley played on the other side of Lattimore. I think he was overlooked. He's a pretty big corner, and he ran a 4.4, which is pretty fast. I think he's very good man-to-man coverage. I like him a lot, and I think that his upside is only going to, he's only going to get better. What I'm saying, he's only going to get better with time. I think he's more polished than Adoree Jackson, and I think that he's number 3. At number 2, I have Tre'Davious White. Tre'Davious White, to me, is very much like Adoree Jackson in terms of his physical ability. He can do kickoff returns. He can do punt returns. He's got speed. He's good at man coverage. He's good at zone coverage. I like him a lot, and I think that he's going to be a very, very, very good corner in this draft. He's a playmaker. He has speed. He has size. He has range. I like him a lot. And LSU puts out good defensive backs. They just do. And at number 1, no surprise, Marshon Lattimore. Marshon Lattimore, to me, is the best corner in the draft. He's a day 1 starter pretty much anywhere he goes. And he's the only corner worth taking in the top 14. So if I was the Eagles, let's say, and Lattimore fell to like 11, I would consider trading up and getting him. No question. If he fell to 14, of course I would draft him and start him day 1. But I think he's the only guy I would start at 14 because all these other guys are so close, and they're going to be around in the 2nd round. Some are going to be around in the 3rd round and 4th round. But Lattimore is big, he's fast, he can do it all. He's clearly the best in the draft. I feel bad for Sidney Jones for getting hurt because I would have taken him also at 14. But that's my top 5. Moreau, Jackson, Conley, White, and Lattimore. I know it's probably different than you've heard, but I think these guys all have athletic ability that the Eagles have lacked at their cornerback position. With speed, with size, with playmaking ability. And that's why I specifically like these guys. And there's a lot of other guys out there that I should definitely consider doing another video just on the other corners in this draft. But that's how I see it right now. Thank you.